All right, good afternoon. My name is Trooper Boehm. I'm the Troop L Public Information Officer. Here with me today, we have the Troop Commander, Captain Robert Bailey, Troop Commander of Troop L. We have the Crime Section Commander, Lieutenant Raymond O'Donnell. Berks County District Attorney, John Adams. Chief County Detective, Mike Gumbar. And Chief John Phillips from the Wyomissing Police Department. And Chief Wayne Holben from the West Reading Police Department. Captain Bailey is going to talk to you with a written statement, and then DA Adams is going to also have a comment to make about it. And then we'll take some questions afterwards, okay?
Good afternoon. As you mentioned, my name is Captain Bailey. I am the commanding officer for Troop L. So I have a prepared statement I'm going to share, okay? The Pennsylvania State Police Troop L Major Case Team, along with Berks County District Attorney's Office, are investigating an officer-involved shooting. This occurred on 903 Spring Street in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. Yesterday around 6:30 p.m., PSP members from Troops L, J, and T were alerted of a double homicide suspect. The suspect is described as a black male that was 53 years of age from Philadelphia, who may be in the Berks County area. The suspect was wanted for an arson fire that occurred on Monday, March 27th, in Gloucester City, New Jersey. There was an active warrant for the arson from this incident. Additionally, the suspect was identified in a shooting that occurred yesterday around 4:30 p.m. in Philadelphia. He was observed in a video walking up to two people sitting on a porch and shooting them. The car and registration plate were captured on this video as well. The suspect was subsequently located in Wyomissing Borough in the area of State Hill Road near the Berkshire Mall. Local PD units attempted to pull over him on Spring Street in Wyomissing Borough. A short pursuit ensued. The suspect drove into the backyard of a residence on the 900 block of Spring Street, where his vehicle became disabled. Multiple units, both PSP and local law enforcement, surrounded the vehicle and gave several verbal commands to him. The suspect, who was observed, had a firearm, a rifle, across his chest. He failed to obey their commands. PSP troopers, along with West Reading and Wyomissing police officers, discharged their firearms at the suspect. The suspect was pronounced deceased at the scene by the Berks County Coroner's Office. So it's a standard policy in the Pennsylvania State Police that whenever a member is involved in an officer-involved shooting or a serious police incident, he's assigned to administrative duties until the investigation is complete. PSPs will assist it with other local law enforcement. Lastly, we can't divulge too much information because this is an ongoing investigation. Next up, we have District Attorney John Adams.
Thank you. And Captain Bailey, thank you very much. The decedent was involved in some very significant violent behavior. He was considered to be armed and dangerous. The BOLO that was sent out was also sent out to all law enforcement who were searching for this individual along with his car, which was identified as Captain Bailey stated, and that identification included the license plate number. He was tracked to our area, and this eventually led to the pursuit. And this pursuit led to this vehicle traveling in the area of Spring Street in Wyomissing, PA. There, of course, officers from multiple police departments engaged with this decedent. This is an ongoing investigation. Many officers will be interviewed. Body cam video, MVR video, and other video will need to be reviewed. A state police helicopter was also involved in this pursuit. Fortunately, no police officers were injured. Many of us responded to the scene last evening, and We will have more information on this investigation in the coming weeks. But we have a lot of information to sift through, and it is our goal to do a thorough investigation in any matter of this importance. And as Captain Bailey mentioned, this investigation is being handled jointly by the Berks County District Attorney's Office and the Pennsylvania State Police. In closing, a very dangerous person was taken off the streets last evening. I'm not certain of his motive, but he was on a one-man violent crime spree, and we are very fortunate that no one else was injured. All of the responding officers displayed courageous acts of bravery in their attempt to apprehend this individual, and for that, I am grateful. Thank you. And we'll take any
I
questions.
just want to be clear, this house where, the backyard where the car ended up, that had nothing to do with this suspect, right?
Absolutely not.
Sir, can you talk about the defendant's actions as it related to the engagement? Can you say how many shots were possibly fired? Did he fire at police?
We are early on in the investigation. And even though we have not had any time to decipher many of the questions that you have posed with that. So that is, we're working through that as we speak.
Can you say how they tracked him from Philadelphia to Berks County? And there's quite a distance there.
Well, there was a bolo put out for his apprehension, and we're utilizing some law enforcement techniques to follow him.
And then how many officers, because there's multiple, it looks like multiple agencies, how many officers are now, I guess, taken off the streets, right, of officers?
Well, okay, I would take it that we probably have 3 officers, approximately 3 officers that would be on administrative leave. But I'm not involved with that policy. Those are policies that are specifically agency-driven.
Those would be state police, Reading police, or who's being taken off duty?
Well, West Reading police were involved, Wyomissing police were involved, and the state police were involved.
Okay, can you tell us, you said 3 are being taken off duty.
Well, maybe, I am saying that there may be 3 police officers who are on administrative leave as we speak, which is just common practice.
And I can elaborate on that. Just to update, for the Pennsylvania State Police, we have actually 4 from the Pennsylvania State Police that are on administrative leave right now. As I mentioned earlier, there were 3 troops involved, Troop L, Troop J, and also Troop T. Then we had officers from these neighboring agencies.
So you guys knew or had some knowledge of this arson at the motel, but there were also 2 people killed at that motel. You obviously knew what had happened in Philly yesterday. How did you guys handle this? Because obviously you called him armed and dangerous. Now he's dead. But how were law enforcement handling this at the time?
As I mentioned before, this is based on information that we received. As I mentioned before, this is based on information that we received. A BOLO, be on the lookout. Essentially with a BOLO, a lot of law enforcement agencies, they're notified there's a suspect that's wanted for A, B, and C, for example. Once we get that information, we do everything in our power to locate that individual because he's a detriment to society.
Can you again confirm the number of officers? I'm sorry to go over the point. Is it 7 or is it 4?
So from the Pennsylvania State Police, there are 4 that are currently on administrative leave.
And she from West Reading?
Currently 2.
2. And then Wyomissing, how many from Wyomissing?
3.
So 8.
8 total. 8 total?
Yes, 8
Yes.
total.
We're doing our math. I have a question. I mean, you said you don't know how many shots were fired, yet we all know that there's body cam video. We're assuming that body cam video has been viewed at this point. When will you release the body cam video? And an approximate, like we have witnesses who said 6 shots, 7 shots, 8 shots, lots of shots. Can you give us a a little more about how many shots were fired?
All I can ask is for everyone to be patient. Like I said, this is an active investigation. We have to review all footage involved. And essentially, we haven't notified the next of kin of the suspect. That's standard policy within Pennsylvania State Police. We're not going to release any information. We don't even have the name of the suspect. We don't have the name of the suspect as far as notification purposes for his family, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Could you, Captain Bailey, could you, I must have missed it, like, what his age is, and you said that?
53 years of age.
Real quick, so like I know that this is prior to like his involvement here, but when we're talking about the arson on Monday, we're talking about the 2 people that were shot in Philly. Are the 2 people that were shot in Philly yesterday not the homicide, not the double homicide? Is that a separate 2 people that were shot? And the 2 people in Philly that were shot yesterday did not die?
So based on the information we have, there were 2 separate incidents.
And only 2 people are dead of all the shooting people that he did?
Based on the information we have right now, yes.
Is there any indication that there are other potential crimes that this individual could have been involved with, besides these 2 from this week?
This is all we have right now.
And can you say, other than maybe being pursued by law enforcement, what brought him to Wyomissing? Do we know?
We don't know right now. Like I said, this is an active investigation. It's very fluid. So as we get information, we'll be able to address it accordingly.
Was there any other weapons or paraphernalia found in the vehicle?
As of right now, he did have a firearm on him, a long gun.
But that was worn on him? at the time.
Correct.
Was there any other guns in the vehicle that you released?
Currently, right now, it's still an active investigation. We're still gathering information.
And the vehicle that he used, was that the vehicle he came to Philadelphia in to shoot the people on the porch? Or was that stolen from Philadelphia?
So the vehicle that he used was the vehicle that we located him when we pursued him. That was the same vehicle that was in the video footage from the Philadelphia incident.
Is it registered to him? Was that car, that vehicle registered to him?
Like I said, right now it's still a fluid situation. We're still gathering information. Once we have that, we will be divulging it properly.
And the 8 officers and troopers who are on administrative leave, I don't want to make a leap of faith here, but are they on administrative leave because they discharged their service weapons?
So we have a standard policy. Anytime an officer is involved in potentially a shooting or a serious police incident, that's our protocol, administrative leave. I can't give you any information right now as far as whether the officers actually fired a firearm.
Real quick, you said 2, 3, and 4, right? Is
4,
that-
correct.
And 3 and 2?
Yes.
That's 9.
That's 9. I know.
I just wanted to make sure we're all clear on that.
This is a minor detail, but what type of vehicle was this, the suspect?
It was a black
Lexus.
black Lexus SUV.
Was it registered in Pennsylvania or New Jersey?
It was registered in Pennsylvania, sir.
Yeah, it was a Pennsylvania registration.
Do we know where the suspect is from? General vicinity, county?
The last address we have is Philadelphia.
Okay.
As far as pursuit goes, how long was the pursuit?
It was a very short pursuit.
Can you go up to the mic?
I'm sorry.
It was a very short pursuit, no more than 2 miles, just a couple minutes only.
You said it was over near the Berkshire Mall where
Yes,
that started and ends at 900 Spring.
correct.
Okay.
So,
Can you talk about the where you guys, or where law enforcement first spotted him? I mean, I understand you got the bolo. Was it a patrol officer that saw the car? I mean, how did it start?
It was a local patrol officer who observed the vehicle, and he attempted to initiate a traffic stop, and that's when the pursuit ensued.
Which department was that?
I have to seek clarification on that one. That's still ongoing.
Sir, would you
They're-
mind sharing your name and?
Sure. Lieutenant Raymond O'Donnell. I'm the Criminal Investigation Section Commander for Troop L Reading.
And Lieutenant, that bolo, was that distributed through state police, local? I mean, it seems like it reached everybody.
That's correct. It reached out to everybody. Anything of that magnitude, when there's someone who's that dangerous, everybody, all officers are notified of it.
Do you know the location where the officer saw the vehicle first?
It was in the area of Van Reed Road.
And after he tried to initiate a stop, can you kind of elaborate a little bit as to what happened next?
Again, he activated his lights and sirens, called for other assistance, and that's where it went.
Are-
And he did not like, when the officers came up to him in the vehicle, there was an observance of this, you said it was a shotgun or some type of, that was his weapon of choice? They engaged, did they say, Mr. So-and-so, put your gun down, get out of the car? Tell me about that, or tell us about that if you can.
Again, that's part of the ongoing investigation, all the body cam footage and interviews we have to conduct and review. We're not going to release anything at that.
Okay, so some witnesses have told us they heard a lot of screaming, yelling back and forth between police, and then they heard gunshots. So, I mean,
Again, that's not something I'm going to release.
Yeah, again, this is early on in the investigation, and we can't, you know, the integrity of this investigation is most important to all of us here, and we're not releasing any further details, no more.
Okay, so that will
Thank you.
wrap it up.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Yep.
Thank you.
when might you release the body cam video?
It'll be sometime, if that's, if we choose to do that.